Tonight on Connecticut's news station, as the Michelle Trones trial continues, focus turns to surveillance video of Fotis Dulos from the day his estranged wife Jennifer went missing. We'll have the latest from court.
Plus, Bridgeport voters are getting ready to head back to the polls for a new primary. We're hearing from the John Gomes and the Joe Ganim campaigns.
And today marks 51 years since the Roe v. Wade decision, but local leaders say the fight for productive rights is far from over where the state stands tonight.
Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. For the third time in the last 5 months, Bridgeport voters will be asked to cast a ballot for their next mayor. But
with so many allegations of voter fraud, will anyone bother to show up? Fox 61's Matt Caron caught up with both campaigns who are still slinging mud in these final hours. Matt.
If you've ever needed any evidence that politics can be a dirty game, look no further than the Bridgeport mayor's race. And let's remember how we got here. It was all because of video from that surveillance camera that showed a Ganim campaign operative allegedly stuffing fistfuls of envelopes into this absentee ballot drop box. It might be the only thing they agree on.
People need to do their part tomorrow and come out and vote. Go to the polls and vote.
Fresh off a contentious debate.
Let's be open about this.
Well, be factual.
And you have no.
The battle for Bridgeport's corner office is also fresh with new allegations of fraud.
What the Gomes people did is on video too. Okay, bad, bad, bad.
This time it's the Ganim campaign, which claims Gomes campaign operative Denise Solano, who according to logs pulled hundreds of absentee ballot applications, violated election law by distributing those applications to campaign workers who weren't authorized, including former police chief Rebecca Garcia.
Giving them out like candy to 22 individuals without any accountability.
Gomes maintains his campaign did nothing wrong.
I will not own up because we did not do any misconduct.
Gomes posting this testimony of a Spanish-speaking voter who claims Ganim operatives finished filling out his absentee ballot, saying, quote, "We are going to take them with us and place them in the mail."
The same perpetrators going house to house, intimidating and trying to take ballots.
Gomes also provided evidence showing a voter was issued an absentee ballot on the same day she died, with a completed ballot being mailed back to the clerk's office 8 days later.
There were challenges, as we know, irregularities on both sides. Tough to admit, but there were.
Which is why the Office of the Secretary of the State is encouraging voters to cast a ballot in person.
Some people had reported feeling intimidated or afraid.
The state hired 2 election monitors to oversee the voting process, and for the first time has recruited 14 volunteer attorneys to serve as Election Day watchdogs at the polls.
If you see something, say something. I hope having more boots on the ground will help us maybe suss out other issues that we're not aware of.
Thomas told Fox 61 her office will be asking the legislature to make changes to the law for the upcoming session, including shortening the time frame for which absentee ballots are distributed and enhancing the security of the drop boxes. Meanwhile, the State Elections Enforcement Commission is devoting all of their manpower to investigate more than 20 complaints of fraud in Bridgeport. So far, no charges or arrests.
Any election-related case has to be investigated in a shorter period of time.
What happens after tomorrow remains to be seen. Gomes told me the only way he walks away from this campaign is if he loses on the in-person vote. Ganim told me if he wins, he's going to be asking the courts to get involved and declare him mayor. This sets up a general election rematch that right now is scheduled for February 27th. Reporting in Bridgeport, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Matt, thank you. It is a saga for sure. West Haven residents will also be voting tomorrow to fill their state representative seat. Dorinda Borer, a Democrat who's now been elected mayor of the city, needs a successor for the 115th House District seat with the next legislative session starting in just weeks. The candidates on the ballot tomorrow are Republican nominee Silvana Apicella, Democratic candidate Bill Heffernan, and former Mayor Ed O'Brien, also a Democrat. This district strongly favors Democrats who have held the seat for decades. Borer actually won her seat originally in a special election back in 2017.
Day 7 of the Michelle Trones trial takes us to Hartford, where police believe Fotis Dulos ended the night when his estranged wife, Jennifer Dulos, went missing.
Now, Fotis, who died by suicide back in January of 2020, is accused of killing Jennifer and then cleaning up the evidence. Trones is accused of joining on the journey to get rid of it all.
Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc is outside Stamford Superior Court with a breakdown of today's testimony.
Camera angle by camera angle.
A black truck or a black Ford Raptor.
Investigators walking the jury through video evidence they collected from May 24th, 2019, the day Jennifer Dulos went missing.
I noticed one of Fotis what appeared to be a vehicle consistent with Mr. Dulos's vehicle.
Connecticut State Police detectives tracked Fotis Dulos's location from his phone, pinpointing him along Albany Ave in Hartford that Friday night. After Jennifer went missing, they looked at cameras posted throughout the city, looking for cars associated with Fotis, tracking this Ford Raptor.
Specifically, the trash getting dropped off in multiple City of Hartford garbage cans.
Police walking the jury through two separate videos from that night. The first near Albany Ave and Garden Street, where a man in a white shirt and a hat gets out of the car, dumps one garbage bag and another item next to the business. A witness testifying Monday that looked like a car mat. Investigators believe that's Fotis. Minutes later, he stops near Blue Hills Ave, this time with a woman in clear view in the passenger seat who reaches out of the car. A woman police say is Michelle Trones, who later admitted it was her to investigators. Police believe Fotis got rid of something in the garbage bin and then...
This particular instance, it looked like a sewer, and something was placed in it.
That's something police say was altered license plates with a canceled registration to an old Chevy Suburban owned by Fotis.
This character is actually a 1. The same here, this was made to be a B, but it's actually a D.
The defense making several objections during the testimony.
He exited his vehicle with what appeared to be maybe a pile of papers or something.
Again, Your Honor,
I don't know what it was.
I'm objecting.
Also happening today, another close call with a juror who went to the clerk saying they recognized a name on the state's witness list after talking with the judge and being interviewed by him. He said that he grew up with that witness but never really spoke to him, so the judge is letting that juror remain seated in this trial. We are in Stamford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Julia. New Haven police say they're looking for the person who stole a car with a child inside. Police say the car was stolen yesterday from the parking lot of a Walgreens on Whaley Avenue. Officers later found the car with the child unharmed in the back seat. No arrests have been made.
Some students in North Stonington were taken to the hospital after a car crashed into the bus they were on. The North Stonington school superintendent says the car ran into the front of the bus on Route 2. About 30 students were on the bus at the time. Officials say some students were taken to the hospital as a precaution. They did not say exactly how many. Both drivers are expected to be okay. And Hartford police have released the names of the 2 people killed in a car crash last night. Police say Kevin McCrory and his passenger Emily Echeverria hit a light pole on Park Street. Their car was found upside down when officers arrived, and both were pronounced dead on scene. The investigation into what happened is ongoing.
In Bridgeport, fire crews responded to a fire there. Flames broke out at a home on Lenox Avenue just before 10 a.m. Crews called in for extra help because of the bitter cold. Thankfully, no one was hurt. The Red Cross is helping the 3 people who were affected. The cause is still under investigation. Turning to the weather now, a chilly weekend, but a bit warmer, I guess, for the start of the week.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach, the real warmth comes at the end of the week, right?
Yeah, we could get up near 50 degrees later this week with a big thaw in the works. But before we get there, we have a series of fronts and disturbances that'll be passing through this week, including one for midday tomorrow right into Wednesday morning with a light wintry mix of snow and rain and maybe even a brief period of icing as well. There could be some minor accumulation. We're not expecting much, on the order of a coating to around an inch or so, but there could be some slippery slippery spots, especially untreated surfaces heading into tomorrow evening's commute and also heading into Wednesday morning. It looks like it's snowing right now in northern Connecticut, but the air is so dry that is not reaching the ground. That being said, I can't rule out a flurry tonight, but the better chance for us seeing that mixture will be during the day tomorrow. Right now, we're looking at temperatures ranging from 32 in Windham to 38 degrees for the New Haven area. And we'll see overnight lows only slowly drop back. So no big cold shot by the time you wake up tomorrow. So we're already starting to see the results of some of those milder temperatures close to 30 as we head towards daybreak. And it's a dry start to the day, so no issues for the morning commute. Heading through the midday and afternoon, we'll see that light mix of rain and snow developing. Look at temperatures. They are above freezing, so that will help road conditions, at least until those temperatures start to drop and everyone transitions over to a little bit of light snow. Keep in mind, all of this precipitation is kind of off and on. It won't be anything steady, and it will, for the most part, be pretty light in nature. But again, with temperatures dropping down close to the freezing point, untreated surfaces could be a bit icy. We'll take a closer look at that, plus that warm up later this week coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. $4 million in federal funding will go towards strengthening Connecticut's power grid. Funding is going to RTX Technology Research Center in East Hartford. The center will reportedly develop a new mobile sensing platform to locate existing utility lines before installing underground lines.
Still to come here on the news at 6, the countdown is on for New Hampshire.